Congratulations on the mess you made of things. I'm trying to reconstruct the air and all that brings. And oxidation is the compromise you own. But this is beginning to feel like the dog wants a bone. Say, la, 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 force, fight, and then you falsify your deeds. Your methods start the disconnect from all your creeds. As fortune strives to fill the vacuum that it feeds. But this is beginning to feel like the dog's lost the lead. Say, this is beginning to feel like the long-winded blues of the never. This is beginning to feel like it's curling up slowly and finding a throat to choke. This is beginning to feel like the long-winded blues of the never. Barely control locomotive, consuming the picture and blowing the crows to smoke. This is beginning to feel like the long-winded blues of the never. Static explosion devoted to crushing the broken and shoving the souls to ghosts. Eternalized, objectified, set aside so high. But this is beginning to feel like the boat busting loose from the lever. Never mind, death professor, destruction's fine. My death is better, you victim flies so high. To catch the birds I pull up, who's next? Never you mind, death professor, love is lies. My love is better, you victim flies so high. Eyes could be the diamond confused with who's next. Never you mind, death professor, your shots are fine. My strokes are better, your fiction flies so high. Y'all could use a doctor, who's sick, who's next. Never you mind, death professor, electrified. My love is better, it's crystallized so mine could be the diamond fused with who's next. This is beginning to feel like the dawn of the loser forever. This is beginning to feel like the dawn of the loser forever. This is beginning to feel like the dawn of the loser forever.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Hey, Lanky baby. Oh, Lanky, don't drop that link. I'm going to revamp. That's my backup channel that Lanky just dropped. It has old drama clips from YouTube. I'm going to revamp it up in case anything ever happens to my channel. Can have a backup. Hey, Batty, Debbie Doll, Side Eye Kate, Wild One, Janie. Oh, called you Janie. Lanky baby. Batty. Who am I missing? It's Shell. Hello, Michelle. Wild One, Moon Goddess. My pal Sal Vintage. Good to see you. Catherine Brown. Hello. Cool Breeze. How are you? How's everybody? Everybody doing good? Hey, just me, everything. Listening in. Anybody else listening in? Thank you for being here. We're just gonna kind of shoot the shit today. And I guess we can like take a vote if you want me to read any of the case file. But we'll take a vote on that later if I have time. So, Trying to think where I want to begin here. Because I have ticked somebody's turtle. Natasha, I ticked her turtle. She's upset with me. Jesus, take the wheel. But all I'm going to say to you, Natasha, is I'm not the only one watching what you're doing over there or what you're trying to pull over there. And the truth is a motherfucker. And you can't escape the truth. Unfortunately, it's going to follow you wherever you go. And you're over there on TikTok trying to run a little narrative. And I'm not the only one who's noticed. And just, justice for Gannon, Natasha. Justice for Gannon. And where is the 20K? But I think we're well over 20K at this point. Don't understand what she's doing. Well, what she's doing, Debbie Doll, is she's trying to swindle these new people on TikTok who don't know her past. She wants to discredit anyone that will expose her past. And that's the name of her game, to discredit people. Like, she's called me stupid. I don't, Starlight, she's just fucking dumb. She's so fucking stupid. She don't know nothing. And she don't know nothing. Yes, I do, Natasha. You're stupid. Anyhow, and then there's this whole thing with Fancy that has blown up to the point where even Christy Blanchard had joined in on it, which by Christy Blanchard going into a TikTok live, a TikTok drama live of 2,000 people. And Christy Blanchard comes in there to join in on the hate fest against Fancy, which just proves to me that Fancy is right when she said that Christy Blanchard doesn't leave her alone and is trying to take her channels down. It wasn't a good look. No, not a good look for Christy. And you know what? Not a good look for you, Ryan. I know you don't listen to me, but Ryan is such a disappointment, and she truly doesn't understand what hate bonding is, because she was gloating about how every person that has ever been around Fancy and turned on Fancy showed up in her live stream. Ma'am, that's because they were there to hate bond. They were there to help throw shit, sling it around, say all these horrible things or join in on it. That's called hate bonding at its finest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't like Fancy, then don't watch her. It's that easy. Don't watch her. Okay? Just don't watch her. Why Fancy? There's so many others that, exactly, because Fancy has the truth. Fancy has the truth. Why else would they want to shut her up? They want to discredit her and shut her up. And I don't know why. Well, yeah, I do. Because it makes Gypsy look bad. It makes her look bad. It's like high school all over again over there. Yeah, it is. The mean girls. And, they want to say over and over that Fancy needs to get help. Mental, she's not in a good place. And she's crazy. She needs to get help. Well, then why are you going at her the way you are? Like, they've made accounts of her husband, whole channels over there about Fancy's husband because he was in the background or something like that. They've clipped her in every way possible. At some point, you cannot like Fancy, but don't run around saying you're like an anti-bully when you're actively bullying somebody, because that's what it is at this point, because Fancy's hardly responded to any of this. So that's all. That's my rant for today. They are scared of Fancy. Them striking her channel speaks volume. Yes, but on a good note, Fancy did get back her 20,000, 22,000 subscriber, or not subscriber, they call them followers over there. Her 22,000 follower channel, she got that back. So, yay. That's good. And that before I move on, hello, Snowcat, Cassandra, Regina. Um, before I move on, Natasha, quit trying to say that I'm out here advocating for Fancy, or that me and Fancy are like best buddies, or whatever you're trying to say over there. I'm sorry that you don't like Fancy, or that some people don't. I don't have a problem with Fancy. Why should I? She's never done anything to me. Why you want me to jump on the hate wagon just because everybody else is? Not happening. I can call it out for what it is. It doesn't make me an advocate for someone. I just see through your bullshit that y'all are pulling over there. It's gross. Hey, Alice down the rabbit hole. Okay, so speaking of oh, what was it? Someone said in the chat, it's like high school over there. Well, I guess we can put it like this. So another old Jip Jip. Old Jip Jip. Let me check my microphone because let me know if it's too loud. Okay. So old Jip Jip, she has taken down, let's just pull it up, all her videos on TikTok and on Instagram. And these are the ones that she left up, okay? Here's her first one about, I want to be an advocate for Munchausen syndrome by proxy. And I'm going to read to you a pamphlet on what that is. And then this is when she cut her hair off and donated it. But, here's my thing.
Hey,
The picture that she chose for this, it pisses me off. And this was on January the 28th. And it says, please find a hair donation charity of your choice and donate your hair today.
y'all. So, as many of you probably already saw, last night I cut my hair. So, what I've been wanting to do for a very long time is to donate my hair to a charity that makes wigs for people that have hair loss or that are going through cancer. So, I chose The Great Cut. It's one of several organizations that make wigs for people with hair loss. So I've got my little baggie with my hair. I cut 8 inches off. It's very, very simple, and you got your QR codes. You can mail it into the facility. I have had my own personal experience with hair loss, not by means of health reasons, but if you know my story, you're very familiar with those reasons why. And here's actually a picture of me when.
Okay, this right here. So she chooses this picture of her. Of all the pictures she could have shown, this one that makes it look like she's in a hospital bed, and it looks like really bad, right? The picture, when you first glaze it, you're like, oh my God. Well, that is a breathing treatment. Okay, she has her eyes closed and she's taking a breathing treatment because she was diagnosed with asthma. Okay, so it's like, what is it? Somebody tell me the name of the medicine. in the nebulizer. What is it? Albuterol, probably something like that. But she picks this picture because it's, to pull at your heartstrings, right? There's a reason she chose that picture. This is not after a medical procedure. This is not anything like that. Hey, Sin, you got a new picture. Look at you smoking hot. That's her gang life hospital picture. That's where she was shot up in a gang fight. No, it's not. No, that was Dee Dee that got in the gang fight. Bloods. I'm so glad I found your channel. Great work. So relieved you and Fancy are getting it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope Fancy, she's taken, from what I understand, Fancy's having her little log off, what we like to call over here, a little log off boo-boo break. Everybody needs a log off boo-boo break. And hopefully she'll come back just as strong as she was before. And we can talk more about the case. Gypsy and Natasha has a lot in common. Well, Dee Dee and Natasha have a lot in common. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, yeah, Natasha Cooper is a tragedy pimp. That's what we call her type over here. People who grift off of tragedies. I guess Gypsy's a grifter. She was in Rolling Doors and Dizzy's. Yeah, she did it on purpose. So that's really it for this one. I'm going to go ahead and skip to present day. So yesterday, Jip, like I said, she's deleted all of her videos except these that are on here. It was only these 3 videos, which is just her scrolling through, I guess, the Munchausen by Proxy website. Here's Pixie, her puppy Pixie. Oh, can't play the music. Pixie with her Valentine's gift. This is my puppy Pixie. And then, out of nowhere, here she comes with this video. And before I play this video, please listen to it. And I want your honest opinions on what you think about this video. So here we go.
My name is Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and I would like to introduce you to one of my very good friends. This is Amelia Bird. She was only 16 years old when she was arrested with her then boyfriend in connection with her crime. And with no other evidence stacked against her except for the testimony of the then boyfriend, Amelia is now serving 2 life sentences, ran consecutive at the Chillicothe Correctional Center for Women in Missouri. If you would like to learn more about her story, please continue to watch. In January of 2006, authorities arrived at the home of Christina Bird, William Bird, and Amelia Bird, where they found Christina Bird had been fatally shot and William Bird had been seriously wounded. Amelia Bird and her then boyfriend, Chad Brentley, was both taken into custody and questioned for the crime. While Amelia maintained her innocence in claiming that she had absolutely no idea that her then boyfriend was going to commit this crime, Chad Brentley, however, pointed the finger at Amelia and claimed that she is the one that asked him to commit the crime. So essentially what we have is a situation that boyfriend breaks into girlfriend's parents' home, commits an act of violence against girlfriend's parents. And so authorities start to wonder what could be a possible motive for this. And as they are going through the case and as Amelia and Chad are awaiting trial, it starts to develop that there seems to be a situation of abuse going on in the home with Amelia's father abusing Amelia. So authorities begin to kind of piece things together. And so Chad fully relies on this story that Amelia asked him to commit this act in order to get Amelia away from her parents. While Chad is awaiting trial, prosecutors are beginning to push heavily on Amelia to accept a plea bargain to second-degree homicide that comes with a prison term of 2 life sentences ran consecutive. So what consecutive means is you have to complete the first amount of years before the second amount of years could be fulfilled. And so life is calculated in the state of Missouri at 30 years. So essentially, she took a plea bargain to 60 years in prison. And they were able to push that on her because the prosecution told Amelia that if she didn't accept the plea bargain, they were going to seek the death penalty in this case. And it is actually not legal to seek the death penalty on a juvenile, which, keep in mind, she was only 16 years old when this case happened. And her co-defendant is still awaiting trial at this point. Amelia, now having spent roughly 2 years in county jail awaiting her trial, accepts the prosecution's deal to second-degree homicide, which carries a prison term up to 30 years imprisonment, and they actually sentenced her to 2 life sentences, so 60 years, while Chad pled out to 4 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Keeping in mind there was no evidence against Amelia other than Chad's testimony against Amelia that she is the reason why he committed the crime. Amelia Byrd is now 34 years old and is currently serving her sentence at the Missouri Department of Corrections in Chillicothe, Missouri. That's where she and I actually became roommates and very good friends. Amelia has participated in many programs at the Chillicothe Correctional Center for Women, including the Puppies for Parole program and CHAMP, which teaches dogs how to care for people with special needs and be therapy dogs. And it also teaches basic behavioral training. So she is a certified dog trainer. And these dogs also come from rescue shelters. So it gives them a second chance at starting a new life as well. So why am I sharing Amelia's story with you? It is because she, like so many incarcerated individuals, have a voice that is silenced by stone walls and a story not yet fully told. Unfortunately, since I am under parole supervision, I can't communicate with Amelia at this time. However, that doesn't make me any less her friend or advocate for her freedom any less. If you believe in her freedom and her cause, please write the Missouri governor on her behalf. And if you would like to communicate with Amelia herself, write her through Securus Technologies. I'll have all of that information below this video. Thank you.
Gypsy. Oh. So what do y'all think about that? What are your thoughts on that? Advocate. Yeah, I think it. Okay, so Nick is supposed to allegedly be speaking on March the 1st. He's going to make a statement somehow, somewhere. Is this her? She's constantly attacking Nick. If you go to my community wall and scroll down a bit, and there's videos of it on YouTube. You know what? There's one on Conspiracy, and we'll play that here in a minute about her post that she made. But before we do that, she's supposed to be an advocate for people with Munchausen by proxy. she hasn't talked about anything medical abuse in nothing. She posted a couple screenshots from a website about it, but now and this is not a good look. So let's look at who Amelia Bird is. And I'm not, I'm not saying she's like a bad, well, she committed a crime at the age of 16 and pled guilty, Jip Jip. So let me bring that up. This is an old blog I found. So it says Amelia Bird and Chad Brantley sentenced to consecutive life sentences for the death of Bird's mother. Which is like, I don't understand why this is in this is in Texas. A Texas county, a Texas county man charged with conspiring with his girlfriend to kill her parents in 2006 will spend the rest of his life behind bars for the death of his girlfriend's mother. Chad Brantley, 22, of Eminence, was charged with capital murder for the January 2006 shotgun slaying of Christine Bird and first-degree assault for shooting and wounding Buddy Bird in their home near Summersville. Public defenders for Brantley ended up making a deal with prosecutors last September to have their client plead guilty to second-degree murder, assault, and armed criminal action in exchange for the 4 consecutive life sentences, one after the other, that he was sentenced to last week. According to the probable cause statement filed with the charges, Amelia Bird told a highway patrol detective that she told Brantley that she, quote, wished her parents would die. She told detectives that she told detectives that said she called her boyfriend to tell him she had unlocked the back door and that her parents were in bed sleeping. The detective said Bird gave them the statement about what happened at the house she shared with her parents. Brantley entered the back door and went to the front of the home into her parents' bedroom and shot them. She said that Brantley ran through her bedroom in an attempt to get to the back door, but was pursued by wounded William Bird. So he shot the mom and killed her, and then he shot the dad and wounded him. So, okay, to get to the back door, but was pursued by wounded William Bird. It was at that point that Brantley shot the father again. Her father made it back to the front of the house where he collapsed on the living room floor. Amelia said she called 911 while Brantley was still in the house. And Amelia Bird was 16 years old at the time of her mother's death and the wounding of her father. She entered into a plea agreement with prosecution and pled guilty last October to participating in the death of her mother and the wounding of her father. Now she's 19. This is an old article, by the way, obviously. And serving 2 consecutive life sentences at the women's prison in Vandalia. Why is she in Chillicothe? Do they just send inmates? Because this happened in Texas. What's this? Missouri courts. I wonder if you can look up their crime. Because Gypsy is trying to say that this woman... There's also, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me Google it real quick. Amelia Bird. Sounds like what Gypsy did. Very interesting, right? If I was Amelia, I'd be mad as heck at Gypshit for not having to do her time also. Right? All right, let me look at this article real quick. The Willow Project. Oh, never mind. You're seeing this warning because the site does not support what? It's not a secure site. Now I'm scared to go to. I don't want a virus. All right, hold on. Petitionandchange.org. All right, let's see what this is. So she told them she wanted her parents dead so she could run off with Chad. Yeah, I want to know more about this story. I don't think it's as black and white as old Jip Jip is trying to portray over there. So here's a petition that was started in 2016. I'm calling on Missouri Governor Jay Nixon to commute the life sentence of Amelia Byrd. Amelia was a victim of horrific abuse and a system that wanted to blame the victim. Since I've heard Amelia's story, I knew I had to share it and help her get her freedom. Amelia Byrd is my mother's cellmate. At the age of 16, she was being schmexually and physically abused by her brother and father. She tried to escape through drug abuse and finding someone to protect her. Amelia started seeing Chad Brantley, an unstable and violent man, and would vent to him about the abuse. One day, she said the words she lived to regret. I guess those words were, I wish my parents were dead. But they changed it here, and it says that she wished her father and brother were dead, but the brother wasn't there. Chad broke into her family house and shot Amelia's parents while she was sleeping a few doors down. Now, that does not cooperate with what she told the police. Amelia's mom was killed. The man who had been abusing her lived. Amelia's words came back to haunt her. She was accused of having her boyfriend shoot her parents. Devastated by the loss of her mom, dealing with the trauma of abuse, and now facing a trial proved too much for Amelia. She pled guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences without the eligibility of parole until she's 60. Many groups have raised Amelia's case as an injustice that needs to be righted. The only person who can do this is Governor Nixon. Amelia is only 27 and has so much life to live. She was a victim and shouldn't be behind bars. With your signature, blah, 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 blah. And then I found, this is the only thing that I've really found on TikTok. Besides, there was a couple channels that have already told this story. Oops, that's not the right screen. No, Gypsy. This one, okay. So this says, waking up to see more publicity for a murderer from my hometown. Waking up to see more publicity from a murderer from my hometown. And she's talking about Amelia Byrd. That's really it. And then if you go in the comments section, someone says, can you tell me where I can find out more about what happened? From what I've seen, she is guilty, but there isn't a ton out there. The girl writes back and says, website, I'm sure one could easily retrieve it by reaching out to the Houston Herald newspaper office. Houston Herald does have the basic info online, and I've looked that up, and it is really just basic info. So, I mean, I'm sure there's way more to that story, but let's get back to old Jip Jip and this the new gypsy. I want to know who picked out her outfit and did her little hair to make her look like this little innocent, sweet little gypsy, little gyp shit. Oh, little gyp shit. And who wrote this script for her? I think her PR team is trying to step it up. The backlash that Gypsy has gotten has been widely known and seen and heard. And oh, Ash, stop it. And then her and Ryan have that new series that's going to come out. So I guess they told her to scrub her social media, even though the videos are still there and they're not going anywhere, to try to boost her public image. Does that make sense? She's not looking too good lately. So I guess they thought this video would be a step up. But it's just, I feel like this is complete shade that she's throwing at Nick. Let's look at some of the comments in the comment section. Never realized I needed a True Crime Gypsy Rose podcast. This is what you're meant to do. And then someone said, girl, you got some serious audacity. Someone said, I was not expecting them to have similar stories, so I'm guessing she thinks her friend needs to be free since she got out. The way I said, not this girl helping another mother murderer. She should be sitting her ass in prison for life, evil bitch. So she basically is serving the sentence that you should be serving. That's a good comment. Look at this gypsy stan. So basically, you're obsessed, and yet to have the audacity to go on her page, interesting. I wonder if Gypsy has sock accounts. She's trolling people in the comment section. Ryan's history used him. He reminds me of a lesbian stud. I wonder if Lifetime will turn on Jip Jip. I don't know. That's what I'm wondering that as well. Are they going to keep promoting Gypsy? Ash, in my opinion, Gypsy doesn't have the education to back her up to be advocate. Just because she was victim of her mother and her illness doesn't qualify her as an advocate. Not at all. Someone else said, so she did the same thing you did. Womp womp. Be for real, is that what that means? How are you going to hate on Gypsy? I'm stating a fact, except for her friend got what she deserved and Gypsy got away easy. Someone said, I'm not saying that Gypsy didn't get away easy, but put yourself in her shoes. She was her escape from her mother. This was her escape from her mother. Kate Greer on TikTok. Oh my goodness. No, ma'am. That is not the only way. She could have escaped several times. It's aggravating seeing some of these comments. She could have went and showed everyone she wasn't sick. She had other opportunities and she knew it. And then someone else said, birds of a feather flock together. And she's free, LOL. Like, that's a good thing and that's funny. True crime. Her sentence should have been yours. Then you guys could have been besties forever. That's a cruel and disgusting thing to say to a victim of abuse. Maybe you could fund her a new lawyer with the funds you're making from your own crime story. Oh, let's put a heart next to that comment. That was a good one. Sounds a little too familiar to me. I think it's too similar to me too. I see why they were friends. They both blaming the boyfriends when they are both the manipulatives. Oh my God, Ash, I'm gonna boot you. Shut up. Hey, Alan. Yeah. There's a lot she could have done. She never mentioned abuse until her lawyer did. Exactly. Her defense team came up with Munchausen by proxy. Gypsy's not a victim of Munchausen by proxy. I've done several lives on why I don't think she was. Check those out if you have not. Always hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. Hey, baby love. Ryan knew he wasn't the one. Let me find that conspiracy. Let me drop her link in here. So if you have not, please sub up to this channel. It's called Conspiracy. She's also on TikTok. She does really good videos. So there's her channel. Oh.
Don't let it get to me. The hate doesn't bother me. I just don't let it get to me. When haters run their mouths, the best thing to get under their skin is not like engaging in the drama. And so all the hate that's on social media doesn't affect my normal life. It doesn't affect my marriage or my happiness. And I'm not going to clap back at everybody.
Well, folks, Miss Gypsy Rose Blanchard has done it again, and this time in the form of a TikTok comment. So let's get into it. So a creator on TikTok by the name Brittany and Ike posted a TikTok video talking about how Gypsy Rose Blanchard was spotted where she lives locally. And apparently Gypsy saw this video and commented on it. Now, she has since removed this video, so you won't find it on her TikTok page, but I'm going to play that for you now.
All right now, Miss Gypsy Rose was spotted 15 minutes roughly from where we currently reside in Ville Platte, Louisiana. All right. We were big supporters of Gypsy Rose because of what she has been through with having a mother with Munchausen by proxy syndrome. But girl, did you really have to unalive your mother? You could use a phone. You know how to use a computer. You knew you could walk. You knew you wasn't sick, girl. The point is, in a situation, nobody had to be unalived. So if I ever come across Miss Gypsy Rose, I'm just gonna like freak out because I'll be scared for our lives. She's a master manipulator, y'all. She is a master. She knew the boy had autism, Asperger's, and all these mental disabilities, and bipolar, and split personalities. She took advantage of that boy. She was probably on her little computer late at night typing in on Google, girl. Has anybody been unalived by a Munchausen by proxy syndrome case? Girl, and when Google said no, she said, okay, I'm going to be the first and I'm going to be famous. I'm just joking, y'all. But all things aside, nobody had to be unalived in this situation. Now I gotta go to work. Love y'all. Bye.
So now after Brittany posted that video, she posted this, which is a picture of Gypsy Rose's comment on her TikTok. Now this is just one of the comments Gypsy made, but this one says, "I live in Lake Charles. Bet you won't say it to my face. Go on." So now these are the comments on the video where she shared that screenshot of the comment. So let's see what some people are saying. "I know she ain't sending when she's still on parole. You can report that to her probation officer, LMAO, get her thrown back in jail, yo." And there are several more even tagging Gypsy saying, "Aren't you on parole?" And then there's a few saying to leave her alone, saying that people shouldn't be trying to provoke her. Now, like I said, Brittany took this original video down, but she made another video after this, and Gypsy also made another comment. So let's take a look at that. So now here's a screenshot of Brittany's original video with Gypsy's comment underneath. And you can see it says Gypsy Rose Blanchard and has the blue check mark. "I live in Lake Charles. Bet you won't say it to my face. Go on." Brittany replies with a laughing smiley face. And I think someone asked Gypsy if this was a threat. And Gypsy replies, "Not a threat at all. I'm just woman enough to say what I think to someone's face. No one has ever came up to me and said anything negative." So like I said, Brittany posted another video after the comment was made, so we're going to watch that now.
All right, guys, y'all comments are getting way out of hand. All right, I'm just stating that, okay? It's my opinion, and I'm stating facts as well. Not everybody's going to think the same way. Doesn't mean you could go and hate on the person who thinks differently than you. But Miss Gypsy Rose did drop me another comment on my TikTok. This time it was replying to somebody else because they stated, "Hey, you need to watch yourself because you're on parole." And this is what she replied to them. Yes, this is her, is the blue check mark. At one point in time, I had 1,000 people in my live last night, and a majority of y'all were commenting I was photoshopping. I do not know how to Photoshop. Y'all say I'm old, okay? Well, older people don't know how to do all the fancy things. And this is proof. This is not Photoshop because this is the original comment on my end, all right? You see her name right here, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Somebody replied to her original comment, and I had to approve or delete the comments that they replied to her on. So no, this is not Photoshop. But y'all could think what y'all want. Y'all could keep leaving me those little hate comments. I don't care. You could go on all my TikToks and leave hate comments, all right? You're just pushing me up to the top. Thank you. Come again.
So first she creates her YouTube channel, uploads her first video addressing her, quote, haters, and says that she's not going to engage, leaves a whole bunch of crazy comments on her YouTube responding to said haters. Then she deletes her YouTube videos. And now this. I can just not even believe this. Someone needs to take away her cell phone at this point. And if she has a PR team, they need to be fired immediately. And if she doesn't have a PR team, she needs to get one immediately. I mean, this cannot be looking good for her, being that she is on parole. And yes, she still has her TikTok comments turned off, and we're going to go over her TikTok account in just a minute. I feel like her end goal of wanting to become an advocate is moving further and further away from her. And I'm sorry, but after the comment she made about disabilities, who is going to want Gypsy to advocate for them at this point? She just keeps digging herself deeper into a hole. Let's revisit this comment she left. "I don't mind people not liking me. That's not the issue. The issue is that there's so much misinformation on the internet spread by people with biased opinions that people aren't looking at the factual evidence. They are more focused on the opinions that they have, so they spin the narrative in whatever direction they want to go. That's what I have a problem with. Am I branded a schmurderer? Yes. Do I feel like that defines me as a person? No. Since I have been out of prison, I have not committed a crime. I have not violated my parole. I have not bothered anyone personally. If people don't like my face, then don't follow my channel. Don't follow my social media. It's that simple. Now, in my opinion,
I see y'all talking about Ruby Frankie in the comments, and I watched her. Was it a sentencing that happened yesterday? But like, that's a good example of not schmurdering your abuser, or quote unquote. And also, I follow the Turpins. Who remembers the Turpin kids? I can't remember how many there were. There was like 11, 10, or 10. How many kids do they have? And Jordan Turpin escaped through a window one night, because these children, and some of them having special needs, were literally chained to their beds in a house of horrors. That's what people call it, the house of horrors. And yeah, me too, Mariska. That's one of the first things that kind of led me to YouTube. But yes, Jane. The Turpin. So Jordan Turpin, escaped out the window, called 911. These children didn't even know how to speak proper English. They were not educated. They were very abused and neglected for their entire lives. Some 13 kids. Some of these children were well into adulthood, and it's awful what happened to them. But it's just, again, another example that you don't have to resort to schmurdering your abuser. I mean, that would be a prime example of a time that you might need to. No. But do you see what I'm saying here? And Jordan Turpin and these other Turpin girls that are on TikTok, they're not doing what Gypsy's doing. They're not exploiting what happened to them. And what I have heard from the girls, the Turpin girls, when they do go on shows like Good Morning America or something like that, they're actually very humbled, very loving people. It's so tragic what happened to them. So to see Gypsy be glorified and her story get, she's the ultimate victim, poor Gypsy, when you have the Turpins who, that's just an example. I hope that makes sense. Right. She has nothing on the Turpin kids. There's just, but nobody had to tell the Turpins, you need to behave this way socially and social media. They didn't have a PR team, or they probably did when it first happened and they were doing interviews. It took them a long time to do interviews also, but they didn't use their tragedy to become a celebrity. They didn't use it to use for financial gain. They didn't use it to become a public figure. And Gypsy has made it to where people think it's okay for you to do this. And then you come out and you don't even tell the truth. Like, at least tell the truth and quit trying to blame it on another person. Nick played his part, but like, Gypsy will not take ownership of anything. It's very frustrating. Yeah, they're not doing reality TV shows. Yeah. Gypsy Rose. Oh, Gyp. We didn't go down the rabbit hole. We forgot to play the video. You can do the Mickey button.
YouTube's name was Mickey Button. And so she came up with a song. It went like this.
Mickey Button. MICKEYBOTTON. Mickey Button. Mickey Button.
The Mickey Button. BOTTON. Oh, Jip, why? Why? Somebody get her a dictionary. She needs a spelling test. Thank you more than enough. Yes, this is not a monetized channel. I never expect tips, but if you feel so graciously to do so, it is always appreciated. I don't know what happened to Nightbot. Nightbot has been skipping out lately. I've seen people with Mickey Button accounts on TikTok. Stop it. Really? It gives me the ick. Oh, don't make me play. Lady Boner gone. I need to put that on my stream fuck, what is this thing called? Lady Boner gone. I need to put it on my StreamYard. What else do I have on here? It's for a little intermission.
I want a lawyer. Please, sir. Sir. I want a lawyer. Please, I need a lawyer.
Okay, have a seat.
Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
Oh my god. I've got to upload Gypsy ice skating. I think that is probably the most hilarious shit I've ever seen. And in case anyone missed it, we did forget to go down the rabbit hole, so let's just go ahead and go on down this Gypsy Rose rabbit hole, see where it leads us today. Because I forgot to play it earlier. Oh, Devious, I crack up every time. I was dying laughing yesterday because I came across pictures of Gypsy. And I'm sorry, like, it's so hard to not laugh at her when she's like well into her 20s, dressed up like Hermione from Harry Potter. Oh, I really think we should watch the ice skating video. Let me upload it to my YouTube so I can play it later, whenever. The ice skating video is hilarious to me. I can't help it. So I didn't have much of a plan today. Let me finish playing this video and then we'll go from there.
I think Gypsy absolutely does want people to like her. Obviously, no one wants people to not like them. Everybody wants to be likable. But it's obvious that she doesn't know how to deal with that. She has not yet lived in the real world and experienced this before, which is why I think it was a bad idea for her to be so present on social media right out of prison. Lots of people took issue with the fact that she said she didn't identify as a murderer when that's what you went to prison and you were convicted of. You planned out your mother's unaliving for a year, so you are in fact a murderer. And of course she doesn't want it to define her, which that's fine. That's great. Don't let this one thing define who you are as a person. But this is what you are known for. This is why you're doing media interviews, you're doing Lifetime series, you created an ebook. This is what people know you as. So if you want to get away from that and you want to develop yourself into someone new or to be known for something else, that's what you need to work towards. And it's okay to take a break from social media, to step back and to work on yourself during this time. Of course, Gypsy's an adult and she can do whatever she wants. I just don't see this ending well for her. And she's still steadily losing followers on social media, TikTok especially. At her height, she had 9.9 million followers, and now she has 9.7. So while 9 million is still a huge number, she is losing thousands and thousands of followers. And I honestly don't see it slowing down anytime soon. I think she's going to continue losing followers. And then she does have her new Lifetime docu-follow series coming out, which it's very interesting that she didn't post the sneak peek of that and that she removed her previous prison confessions videos from her TikTok account. Now, she did recently post a new video of her dog Pixie, which I've heard people say that this dog's name, Pixie, is the same name of the dog that she had with her mother. So that's kind of interesting.
What? I've never heard that before. Oh, this is my puppy, Pixie. Pixie. I didn't know that. That's a little weird, though. You married someone that looks just like your mom, and then you got... This is my puppy, Pixie. Pixie 2. Oh, Pixie. So this video was made before her other video that she put out like right after this. Her series is going to bring more. Well, you know what? I say keep her talking. Keep her talking. Because every time she does, she just sinks her own ship. Fancy was the one who said that the names are... Oh my goodness. I didn't even know they had a dog. What happened to the cats? Did she just let the cats out? And because they still had a litter box full of cat shit. A Pixie, she's gonna choke on that. What kind of balloon is that? What are they called? She's gonna bite it. Gypsy, take care of your puppy. I'm joking. I'm joking. My favorite is how it... Yes. In his sweat rag. He does. He loves wrestlers. That... Yeah. I mean, whatever. Whatever floats your boat there, Ryan. But what gets me about what she said about Nick having a 15-year-old boy's bedroom is the fact that Gypsy and Nick had to clear all the stuffed animals, the toys off of Gypsy's bed so they could go, bang it out after the murder. So she has no room to talk. You were literally living your life as a 14-year-old to people in public when you were 19, and then when you were 23, you were still doing it. It's weird. You have no room to judge there, Jip. All right, this one's almost over.
As well. If you've not yet seen the comments from Gypsy's now deleted YouTube video, I have a separate video going over that if you'd like to check that out, as well as a Gypsy Rose Blanchard playlist if you want to catch up on the other videos. I am working on more. I also did purchase her ebook, so I'm working on going through and reading that right now. So let me know what you guys think about this comment that Gypsy made on Brittany and Ike's TikTok account down below in the comments. I will put a link to her TikTok account in the description below, just in case she does decide to re-upload or unprivate that video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it.
Please sub to this channel. Like I dropped it in here earlier. It's called Conspiracy, one word. And she also has a TikTok. I really like her videos. Okay, I've seen the picture with the dog, but it was a puppy. Where did it go? Did the puppy grow up to be a full-grown dog? I don't know. What happened to Pixie 1? My puppy Pixie. What happened to the first one? Jip. Pixie's proxy? That's funny. All right, let me go here. Thank you to the person who just sent me a little gift. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you. Where is it? Oh, almost deleted it. Okay. Okay, for funsies, just going to play Gypsy on Ice. Gypsy on Ice. Let me mute it. I can't play the sound. So I played this on the last stream. Like I said, I didn't have much of a plan today. Just kind of shooting the shit. Just having a little chat with you guys about Jip and her latest video. So just for fun, I'm going to play this again. This is a Gypsy on Ice. I find it quite hilarious because, you know, Gypsy has never done any kind of sports. And she could have in prison, so don't say it's because she's in a wheelchair. She could have been doing things. And so watching her on ice skates kills me. Hilarious. There she is. Holding on to that rail for dear life. And has it she's so oh wobble. I got you, baby. That's all I think when I see this part. I got you, baby. Come on, you can do it, baby. She hadn't moved 2 inches. Poor thing. Bless it. Bless it. And that is Gypsy on Ice. Her commentary is what it does for me. Whose? It cracks me up. As I said the other day, she has not done any sort of sport in her life outside that bullshit Special Olympics crap. Well, and she said that her and her friend Rachel from prison, they tried to play volleyball. She should have been taking some laps. Kind of off my game today, Mariska. She got all kinds of medals. I wish I could show you guys all the photos I found yesterday. There's just so many, and they're so funny. They're hilarious. Okay, I was going to pull something else up. What was it? Oh, I know what it was. Now, this podcast that Gypsy went on, this was got in January sometime. It was after she went on like a Good Morning America, the whole press junket that she went to New York for. And if you haven't watched the podcast, you should. I'm just going to click on some videos here about it.
She's got a lot of catching up to.
Yeah,
do.
what are you a fan of other than obviously Taylor,
Okay.
Ariana Grande?
Uh-huh.
What are you into right
I'm
now that people need to
into,
know?
I love 90 Day Fiance.
Oh,
So good.
okay,
Yeah,
I love
like me
that.
some 90 Day Fiance. I like Married at First Sight.
Okay,
That's
you
a
like
good
those
one.
TLC
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah, I like the
okay.
TLC and things like that.
She's got
What,
a lot
like,
of catching up to.
You were held accountable. Nick was held accountable. But watching all the content, all the things that are out there,
Mhm.
no doctors were held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just frustrating as a viewer to watch, whether it was the act or the documentaries, to have all these doctors, people we trust with our health. We don't know any better. How do you know?
Right.
Does that ever anger you? And do you feel like there are people in the medical community that should be held accountable for what happened to you?
Of course. I mean, I think that the doctors, whether or not they even suspected it in their own minds or whatever, they didn't do anything about it. So there was no report, there was no follow up. And I think that money plays a big part in it. Hey, they're getting paid. This girl needs a lot of medical care. It's more money in my pocket, right? So I think we live in a system that's very money hungry and selfish. And so,
So why doesn't she go after these doctors? That's my question. She has so much money that she has enough money now where she could pursue legal action against Dr. Beckerman in particular. Dr. Beckerman, paging Dr. Beckerman. We need you to talk, sir. I think Dr. Beckerman and Dee Dee were working together, if I'm completely honest. Hey, Mo. It's good to see you. It's just interesting to me that she would say this, but I would think this would be a huge problem for her, being a victim of medical abuse. Wouldn't that be one of the first things on your mind with all of this are these doctors that did all these unnecessary procedures on you, Gypsy? Because that's what she says. They were all unnecessary. There were also not a ton of procedures going on anyways, because that's all a lie. As far as we know, there's the eye surgeries, which she needed because she was cross-eyed pretty much. If you look at her now, you can still see that her eye is not completely corrected. She had possibly 2 of the salivary glands. I don't think they were removed. I could be wrong, but there has been said that she was getting Botox in her salivary glands. And then they did a muscle biopsy, and the muscle biopsy came back that she did not have muscular dystrophy in big bold letters. She had the feeding tube, which I found out is actually not that big of a surgery. But, nevertheless, she shouldn't have had these, the biopsy. Or, well, that's technically, I mean, you have to have a test ran. So, and then the feeding tube. That's really it. Oh, and she had tubes put in her ears. But if you have been around children or know people who have children, I'm sure one of their kids has probably had tubes in their ears before. She did have to have hearing aids. Where was she getting hearing aids? But I guess that's easy to fake your hearing. So did Gypsy willingly fake hearing tests? Because she made a a Facebook post, and in the Facebook post it says that she just got her brand new hearing aids. And that was in 2015, I think. So she was 23. So what? What? Was she was faking these tests to get hearing aids? I had tubes in my ears 6 times. Yeah. It would be an entire new. Oh gosh, there's so many. I've already been down it. What did Alice say? Lazy eye, lazy legs, lazy ass. Mm-hmm. She didn't have to do nothing. Her mama waited on her hand and foot. She didn't even know how to cook macaroni and cheese. She didn't even have to walk. Her mama got to push her around everywhere. I'm just saying. It's not a surgery, that's a procedure. Right, exactly. It's not a surgery, it's a procedure when you have to have a muscle biopsy, which I heard are very painful, and that sucks. But at least you found out you didn't have muscular dystrophy. Oh, wait. She was deaf and dumb. Yep. She said her mom told people she was mentally R word. She uses the R word. People don't like that word, so I'm not going to say it. But yeah. That's why she's trying to silence Fancy, because of the medical procedures. That's what I think, because one thing that she'll talk about it, but she hasn't shown, and neither has Natasha Cooper, which is saying a lot, because Natasha Cooper likes to put children's autopsies behind a paywall of children. What was my point in that? Oh, but even Natasha won't show the medical records. So there has to be some sort of, maybe you're not allowed to show them even though they were willingly given to you. I don't know. Maybe there's something in those medical records. We need to hear about the medical records. Please read them. Yes, buttons and gadget. People get super triggered over that word. Which I get. I know. I don't know. Whereas Fancy, does anyone know? She's taken a little, I'm guessing, from her post. She got her channel back, her 22,000 follower channel on TikTok. She got it back, and I think she's just having some downtime. She took a little log off boo-boo break. My husband and I work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Oh. Foundation, ride an arcade car. It pisses me off to know these people took advantage. I've seen the kids that are really terminal, right? And I think that's what Gypsy needs to do. She needs to pay back or gift another child, a real sick child, a trip to Disney. Oh God, now she'd use that just for a reason for her to go to Disney. But why didn't she do that? I'm just waiting until we see Gypsy at frickin' Disney World. It's gonna happen. She needs to do something. Yeah. Yeah. Well, did y'all see the video earlier that I played? That from yesterday, like Gypsy posted a video yesterday. Gift a couple of children trips to Disney. Yes. Help a real. Yep. When Fancy said Colleen was going to talk and they were going to start discussing medical records, they went at her hard. Yes. Mhm. Now they're trying to start problems between Fancy and Colleen, and I don't understand this TikTok drama over there. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's bullshit what Ryan did and all these people making clips of Fancy. Like, damn. Natasha Cooper is way worse than Fancy. Blows my mind. And I did a stream about that. We could watch some of that. I did a stream with Fancy about a month ago. I came across Fancy through Facebook, deep diving. When Gypsy was going to be released, I was already prepping for her release. I don't know why. So, like, I rewatched the documentaries. Natasha Cooper, I had a fallout with Natasha Cooper. Natasha Cooper covered Gypsy in 2019 and scammed a lot of money from this case. And I have every receipt to prove it. All the funds that she has that people think are so funny, like the one that she has right now is called the because Fancy has those support chickens, which, by the way, are like a trending thing, Natasha. You don't understand. Those emotional support chickens are all over the TikTok shop. And you don't understand that part of it. But whatever. So Natasha started a fund, her support chicken fund, and then she has all these different names for them, like people are obsessed with me fund, I need groceries fund, mental health fund. She'll have, whatever the fuck she wants to name her fund. The name of it doesn't matter because she does the funds. People donate and she'll be like, I'm at 15% of my goal, and her goal is ridiculous. I don't understand why you people are paying this woman. If a fund says emotional support chicken, then you better go buy a fucking emotional support chicken. They bought her a she shed, which is, it has 2 lofts. She was talking about it the other day, and her daughter's going to move into the she shed. Just, I can't with you, Natasha. You are a grifter. You're a tragedy pimp of the worst kind. And you are a con. That woman is a con artist. It's probably why you like this case, Natasha. All right, my rant's over. I had to get that out. I'm on cancer med and just now lost all my eyebrows and half my hair. I'm pissed at her for faking it. It's traumatic to lose. I know, right? I know. And then she puts that picture up there. It's insulting to people that go through it. I'm sorry you're going through that, Georgia. I need a lawyer out of Gypsy's mouth. I think about that. I can't speak today. I need a lawyer. Sir, I need a lawyer.
It cost me my life. What does that mean to someone else? So they aren't held accountable. And I actually, like, my parents and my dad and stepmom tried to look for an attorney that can take my case for a malpractice lawsuit. And I don't think anyone wants to touch it. Like, I've not been able to find one.
Really?
Yeah, no, that's really surprising, actually.
It seems so obvious.
Maybe there's some lawyers listening to this.
Yeah, I
who-
need some legal advice.
Yeah. That seems shocking and very disappointing. Because, like I said, I mean, when we go to the doctor, we for most of us, we don't know any better. We don't know
Exactly.
anything, and whatever a doctor tells us is gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you went to the doctor more than
Good question. Weird question, but did Gypsy know about what Dee Dee was doing to her before the schmurder, or did she only about the wheelchair and that she could walk? Yes, she knew what Dee Dee was doing. She claims to think that she had cancer, or she said she thought that she was a dying child, and it wasn't until prison that she figured out she wasn't. But she knew she could walk. She knew she felt like a healthy person. So it's really hard to tell what is the truth and what is a lie in that statement, because by the time she was arrested, like, to me, she hadn't shaved her head in quite a while. Her hair was kind of grown out. What she was never on cancer medications. There's no proof of seizure medications in Missouri. I can't remember if it's in Louisiana. Do you know if Gypsy was getting disability? Oh, good question. Does anyone know the answer? Because I want to say she was. And I think maybe Dee Dee was getting disability. But then I know her dad was paying for insurance, but I don't know if his money was actually going to insurance, because it was going straight to Dee Dee. I'm not sure if they had insurance or if they had Medicaid, but I want to say they had Medicaid and possibly on disability. Shit. I don't want to tell you wrong. Yes, she was on disability. Was Xena Warrior Prince? Is that who it was? Xena Warrior Princess. She met Miranda Lambert. She met the hobbits from Lord of the Rings. She met the cast of Harry Potter. She was on Medicaid. That's what I thought. Beckerman is a Medicaid doctor. Yes. That's why I thought she was on it. And then I'm not. Was she on disability? So, anyways, in this clip, Brad Paisley, that's that guy's name. Yes. And she got also was gifted professional baseball games and a lot of things through radio stations. You know how radio stations will do those sort of things. Like, she was queen of a parade in Louisiana, and it's the one where she's got the crown on. She was the princess in the parade. Like, they wouldn't make someone pay it back. Yes, she definitely got free insurance, Medicaid, and Dee Dee probably had disability for her. It would have been easy to get if she fooled those docs of diagnosis. Yeah. Medicaid seems like the states would go after, at least. That's what you would think. But now she's saying in this podcast that no lawyers would touch it. Why wouldn't a lawyer touch it? I would think that would be like a bombshell of a case. Why not touch it? Seems a little corrupt to me.
Maybe anyone ever, and every time you went, all these doctors were doing were just confirming the lie that your mother was telling you. And truly couldn't imagine. I couldn't put myself in your shoes. And it angered me so much, because it's such a vulnerable position to be in when we go to the doctor's office and we
Mm-hmm.
put our health and our lives in their trust, and you were failed time and time again.
Mm-hmm. I think that there needs to be a certain level of education.
So yesterday I made my kids some mashed potatoes and I said, here you go. Here's your royal mashed potatoes. And they're like, Mom, why are you talking like that? But they know who Gypsy is because she's trending on TikTok, okay? The whole, I'm living my best life. Can't nobody hold me down. I'm on a high right now. It was just funny. Here's your royal mashed potatoes. Yeah. It was funny. These young kids, they don't do their homework though, because they just see Gypsy as an abused person that came out of prison, just want to live her best life. I've showed my kids older pictures of her, and they're like, "That's her." Oh my god! I've had to check them. They want to defend Jip, and I'm like, no, no, no. Now my kids are 14 and almost 13, so not little bitty. Royal mashed potatoes. I'm Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Hi, I'm Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and I'm at Cinderella's castle eating royal mashed potatoes. Oh, Marishka.
Hi, honey. I'm feeling it. He's eating a brownie. But later he will be eating me.
Ugh. It gave me the ick. Ugh. Yeah, Batty, you know that is filmed in the hotel room after they murdered her mother. They went to, get their second, third, fourth round of fun. We'll just say. I don't know if it was fun. And they're in the bed eating brownies. Hi, honey. I can't do her laugh. Ugh. Ugh. Right now, he's eating brownies. But soon he'll be eating me. It's almost like a Mickey Mouse. She kind of has a Mickey Mouse voice. Hi, guys. My name is Gypsy. And I'm on a high right now. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Mickey button. Oh, no. Why, Gypsy? Why? All right. Where shall we go from here? Shall we finish with some more of this podcast? I don't think I can do any reading today. Elmo, yeah. Da 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 da. Gypsy show. Da 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 da. Gypsy show. Gypsy likes her crayons. Her big D2. That's Gypsy's song. Gypsy's World. On today's adventure, Gypsy ice skates. Oh, I've never been on ice skates before. I say she opens her mouth more and more until everyone just rolls her eyes. Yes. I said this to somebody. I was like, Gypsy is going to be the next Mama June. That's what I'm afraid will happen with Gypsy. She's going to be the next Mama June. She's going to be on TLC, Gypsy's World. She's going to pop out some kids. They're going to document it. Is Gypsy, today's episode, is Gypsy still lying? Gypsy takes a lie detector test. In today's episode, Gypsy walks. Go live her and stop trying to redefine herself as a celebrity. Cancel Gypsy, yes. Or, I don't even know what she could do at this point. I don't. I'm not sure what she could even do at this point to make me change my mind about anything. I guess if she... like, if she told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, no lies, stop trying to throw Nick under the bus. And, I think that is why she is so angry at Nick. She's got this really hatred, anger towards him. And I think it's because he didn't stick to the plan. And the plan being that he be the honorable one, because that's what he says when he's talking to himself. He's like, and she even said it, like, it's honorable for you to protect me and basically kill my mom. That's the honorable thing to do. And the honorable thing to do is that you take the rap for it. Hey, exiled. And I get to go live my life because I need to escape my mom. And so you're supposed to be my knight in shining armor and take all the blame. He didn't stick to that. He told the truth. She didn't. She did not tell the truth until she was backed into a corner. And that took days. People are advocating for him. Yes, she's very bothered by that. Because she's got this hate for him. And it's not that she doesn't hate him because he killed her mom. She hates him because she had to be accountable for it also. Gypsy probably still sticks her nose up in the air and thinks that she shouldn't have served any time. I bet. That is not a fact. That is my opinion. I bet she thinks she didn't deserve any time at all. Has anyone ever told Dee Dee no, she's just like her mom? Exactly. That's a very good point. She doesn't like to be told no. She can't be humbled. Like, why not advocate for Nick? Yeah. Why not advocate for Nick? Not his release. I don't think he should be released into the public. But he does deserve some grace, since Gypsy deserves grace, or everyone's saying to give her grace, while she villainizes the person that she groomed and weaponized to do her dirty work, because she couldn't do it herself. They've both admitted she couldn't do it herself. She had to have Nick do it. And was the one orchestrating the whole thing. Play what? What should I play? Didn't she say that Nick didn't have a real disability? Yes. In those screenshots. In the comment section. She thinks people with real disabilities are nonverbal. They can't communicate. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what she said in those screenshots. And she said that he didn't seem like any little autistic buttercup Those were her words. She called him an autistic buttercup, or that he wasn't an autistic buttercup. And she's so angry she apparently needs to throw him. Yeah. She can't take accountability. I guess she thinks that she has, but she's lied. I wouldn't trust her. Look what she did to the woman who loved her. I know it was messed up, but wanting her dead is too much. And she doesn't even talk about her mom. I find that odd. She has to be the victim in the story. She uses his ASD against him, but didn't count on the fact that his honorable traits could work against her. Well, honestly, she told me to do it. Yeah. His interrogation is so long. I thought about playing it one day, but it's so long. And I want to go watch his trial. I haven't done that yet. So, anyhow, I don't know. Because she did shoot her. She shot her mom how many times? 10 times, and then thought it was a real gun, but it was a BB gun. Yes. Oh, really? Okay, Brenna. We'll have to compare notes. I'll have to start it. Where are you watching it? On Court TV? Because I found a playlist. I think it was through Court TV. It's so sad watching him sit there. Yes, it is. For hours he sits there. Hours and hours and hours. They have this guy in an interrogation room. Oh, it's sad. Law and Crime. Okay. Yes, Law and Crime's a good one too. Yes. Or we can watch it together. I could stream it one day. And we'll have to see how long it is. She manipulated the parole board. She has not accepted real responsibility for her actions. I agree with that. She's a master manipulator. She knows what she's doing. Hold on a second. I'm trying to do something. Okay. What the heck did I do? Sucking a bottle. That shed. I wish I had the picture of the shed readily available. I want to know about that shed. That was some weird shit. 2018 trial is interesting, funny, cringiest part. It's when the middle-aged lawyer is reading all of Yeah, I did that on stream. I had never read through all of the text messages, and I read through all of them, and I did not realize how dirty they got. It was pretty funny. Was not expecting all this talk about, doing backdoor sexual activities. Hun. Stick it in my butt, hun. Nasty gypsy, you little. Oh, gypsy. You were out doing the most, getting it on. I wish they would release all that evidence. The video chats that she had. Do they show those in court? Do they not show these video clips of Gypsy in court? Who said that? Was it Brenna that's watching it? Because the clips I've seen from Maybe it was a pre-trial, like a pre-trial hearing. See, look, I think I might even have it pulled up. I'm just going to go ahead and play it. Hold on. I don't think I closed it out. There it is. Pretty sure it's this one.
I think it's a great idea. House sitters get somewhere to stay, and we, the house owners, get someone to look after our home and our animals. And
it makes it a very equal relationship.
Yeah.
We're both giving something and we're both getting something. I can't see any.
Testimony wrapped up today in the appeal hearing of Nicholas Godejohn's first-degree murder conviction. He's the Wisconsin man serving a life sentence for stabbing Dee Dee Blanchard to death in 2015. Francis Watson shares the latest evidence shown in court and what's next for this case.
Okay, I'll admit it. I did actually stab her. I will admit it.
Nicholas Godejohn was convicted of first-degree murder for the stabbing death of Dee Dee Blanchard. Authorities say Blanchard's daughter, Gypsy, manipulated Godejohn into killing her mother. She testified in court that her mother forced her to use a wheelchair and undergo unnecessary medical tests to collect gifts and charitable donations. She also said she planned her mother's murder. She took a deal, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, and was sentenced to just 10 years. This before Godejohn even went on trial. Appeal attorneys are not disputing whether or not Nicholas Godejohn killed Dee Dee Blanchard in this house back in 2015. What's at issue is his mental condition and whether or not he was properly represented during his criminal trial.
Did you have a strategic reason for not investigating and hiring a neuropsychologist with autism specialty to support that diminished capacity defense?
No, ma'am. We were comfortable with Dr. Franks, and it didn't occur to me to do such a thing until shortly after the trial.
Besides getting the proper medical expert to evaluate Godejohn, appeals attorney Jenny Young brought up all the media exposure surrounding the case.
Were you concerned in picking a jury that the volume of pretrial publicity was so great that there would be a presumption of prejudice among potential jurors in Greene County?
Yes.
Videos of various television and cable shows were played in court, many of which feature Gypsy giving her side of.
See, hold on. And teacher mom, that's because she is a liar. That's why she was doing the most. Her mom was really sick. She was having a lot of medical issues. She didn't like it when the shoe was on the other foot. I was like, man, I wish I could question Gypsy. Yeah. But so what is this, a pre-trial hearing? Is that what this is? Because they show things now that even I haven't seen. What does this post say? Let me go read it. I am embracing my role and duties. I am learning more about myself. I am confident and fulfilled. I live and breathe to serve my master, Gypsy. My soulmate has the most desirable voice ever. It's like he could say anything and it be heavenly. Wheelchair medals, I can't. Her mom was very sick, nearly bedridden. Yeah. And if anyone wants to join the Discord, I will drop that in here.
Certainly doesn't portray the accuracy of the relationship between Mr. Godejohn and Ms. Blanchard.
Greene County prosecutor Dan Patterson.
Now here's a video I've never seen. Okay. It's called The Perfect Match. And it was on a month before the murder. Not even a month. Wish we could hear it.
And also used the videos played in court to make the state's case.
In fact, in the last video we watched, she's referring him to as Sir.
Yeah.
An evil king.
She does say that for sure. I do remember that.
Patterson also reiterates that his office tried to work with Godejohn's defense.
The state did make 2 plea offers in this case, the defense.
Yes.
And at some point in our discussions, you told us that the defendant wanted a lower sentence, something closer to Gypsy Blanchard.
I mean, I don't specifically remember doing that, but I certainly know that you and I talked about a possible plea arrangement on multiple occasions.
Still, appeals attorney Valerie Leftwich says Godejean's mental condition was key in this case.
Would you agree that any planning Nicholas may have
I know that's her intro video as Ruby, but I want to hear it. I want to hear the clip. I want to hear her say those things. I want to hear it come out of her mouth. Why can't we hear it? Why is Dee Dee's autopsy sealed? People say it's for his appeal. Maybe so.
participated in was done through the lens and the thinking of an autistic person?
Yes.
It could be a few months before Judge David Jones makes his decision on whether or not to overturn.
I'm not sure why he didn't take them. I think he spoke on why, but I can't remember right now. Nicholas Godejean, attorneys for Godejean, pleaded guilty. Let's see, day 2. This is Nicholas Godejean appeal hearing. Are appeal hearings not open to the public? Is that why we can't find it? Because I can't find it anywhere. I've searched for this appeal hearing footage. He wanted the same deal as Gypsy. Okay. That makes sense. Thank you, Nicole. Yep, they're sealed to the public? Maybe. The judge tells the defense that they have 45 days to file. Okay. 3:10 p.m. video of Gypsy as Ruby is played for the court. She is describing herself as the evil side of Gypsy. She is calling Godejean her match. She is describing all the ways they can be bad and commit crimes together. Perry is asked if he's familiar with that video. He says yes, he is. Perry is asked if he played the video for the jury to show that Gypsy manipulated Godejean. He said that he didn't, but says the video does show that and that it should have been played. Perry is asked about mental examinations being conducted and admitted. Prosecutor Dan Patterson asked Perry about testimony given by their medical expert. He's also asked about plea deals extended to Godejean. Patterson asked about the evidence against both Gypsy and Godejean, with Gypsy being the mastermind. Perry agrees. Judge asked about Gypsy being called as a witness against Godejean. He states that he testified that the murder was her idea and Godejean did what she asked. Defense asked about Gypsy's cooperation with Perry. Perry is asked that if the murder was planned, it may not mean that Godejean contemplated it with cool reflections, but through the lens of an autistic person. Perry agrees. Perry states that the defendant is entitled to competent counsel at all times. That's a long article. Dan Patterson cross-examination. Court in recess. A clip from Gypsy's phone is played of her walking around Dee Dee's bed and making a stabbing motion. Meade is asked if it was presented as evidence during the trial. He said no. Still, pictures of the video were shown to Meade. He was asked if he entered them into evidence to show the jury. He said no. He is asked if he had a strategic reason not to. He said no. Pictures of Dee Dee sleeping. Pictures of Dee Dee sleeping? What? He is asked if he had a strategic reason not to. He said no. Pictures of Dee Dee sleeping? What is that? All right, Meade is given a copy of a report made about forensic exam of Gypsy's cell phone. It states that there were 2 items of interest. First, photos and videos of a walkthrough of the murder, including Gypsy making a stabbing motion. A second item shows pictures and videos of Dee Dee's room, including another walkthrough of the murder about a month before it happened. The report states that it appears to be documentation showing Godejohn what to do to execute the murder produced by Gypsy prior to the murder. Meade is asked if it was presented as evidence during the trial. He said no. Why didn't they show that during the trial? Hold on. I have that video. Let's just go ahead and show it. All right, it's in my short videos. Oh. Is he still talking to Dawn? Are you talking about prison girlfriend Dawn? Because I have the messages between the two of them. We'll have to talk about that next time. I'll come more prepared next time and we can go through those messages. I'm going to finish reading some of this article and then I'm going to call it a day. A second clip is shown from the 2020 program Gypsy, Truth and Lies. It shows Godejohn checking into the hotel. Gypsy is interviewed saying she took medication to calm her down before the murder. Godejohn is seen describing the murder to an investigator. Gypsy's interview states that she wanted to stop murder but was too scared. Video then shows that they checked into a motel. Meade says that he would be concerned if a potential jury were to see it. Meade says that he would be concerned if a potential jury were to see it. Why? It would sway their opinion. Meade is questioned about why he didn't question potential jurors about what media coverage they saw prior to being seated on the panel. He said that he didn't have a reason why he didn't ask them. Oh, so they did not even give him an impartial jury? Wow. Why is he not granted a new trial? That is so messed up. A clip is shown from the 2020 program, Gypsy, Truth and Lies. It shows Gypsy talking about Godejohn being controlling and that she forgives him but no longer loves him. Meade states that he would be concerned because it was untruthful. A fifth clip is shown from the program Gypsy's Revenge. Gypsy is seen talking about Godejohn, telling her that he would do anything to protect her. She asked if he would murder her mother. He said yes. Video switches to Godejohn's Greene County Jail interview. He states that Gypsy made it clear that she couldn't be with Godejohn if Dee Dee was alive. She states that getting rid of her was the only option. Meade states he would be concerned if a potential jury saw the footage because it doesn't allow them to make their own impartial decision about the case. A fourth clip is shown from the program Gypsy's Revenge. It's Gypsy's account of the murder. She says how she wanted to stop it but wasn't able to. Meade is asked about his concerns. He states that the clip mitigates Gypsy's role in the murder. A third clip is shown. It's footage of Dee Dee Blanchard's childhood pictures and interviews of her family talking about her. Rod Blanchard is interviewed about Dee Dee. He says he never met anyone like her. He says she stood out. Video shows footage of Dee Dee. Young asked about Meade's concern for potential jurors seeing the footage. He says yes, because it humanizes Dee Dee for the jury. A second clip is shown. It shows the SWAT raid on Godejohn's home. Godejohn's interrogation video. Investigators ask him if he loves Gypsy. He says yes. Investigators say, says that if he loves Gypsy, he won't let her get in trouble. Gypsy is shown. Officer tells her that her mother is dead. She cries. Video shows Godejohn's confession that he committed the murder for Gypsy. The knife and package that was sent from Springfield to Wisconsin were also shown. Meade is asked if he was concerned that this aired before Godejohn's trial, and he says yes. Okay, so they're talking about how they did all this stuff in the public, which affects getting him an impartial jury. That's what I take from that. And I can't read anymore. All right. Hey, David came in at the end. Good to see you. Gypsy knows Blanchard. Someone said she's like Pinocchio. The more she lies, the more her nose grows. Has lost all credibility. Yeah, pretty much. I would say so. All right. Well, I have run out of steam, but thank you guys for being here. And I'll be live in a day or so, probably to talk about some more or whatever. A little chitty chat. We can read some documents. Check my community wall. I might put like a poll up or something to see what people want to talk about next, because we can read the case files. We have emails between Nick and some other women. Hey, Randy. Thank you. Yes, hit that thumbs up on your way in or out. You can even hit the thumbs down. But anyhow, keep an eye out for that. I will put a poll up soon. And that is all for today. Again, thank you for being here. I love you so much. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. A disclaimer that I don't have all that much time today. I got a little bit of time today.
This beat is going to drop in 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's fair game, right? Bye, everybody.